Doop. I am going to post this on YouTube later, so if anything happens with my internet, hi Glenn, or if you just get like annoyed and you're like, I don't have the energy for this right now, you can always come back and you'll either watch it on Facebook Live or watch it on YouTube later. Couple things. Good to you. A couple things that I want to tell you about. I'm not going to read a lot of traditional 108 information to you today. I feel like today I'm going to kind of give it a slightly different offering, but just know that the 108 is a very sacred number in yoga and actually in lots of modalities. But that's why we're doing 108. What I actually usually do is a combination of sun A, B, half suns, some traditional suns, and some lunar suns in there too, and it's repetitive. You may not be able to see it very well. Actually, I think you can. On top of my ottoman there is 109 quarters. There's actually 4 Canadian ones in there too for my mother-in-law and father-in-law. I usually use pennies, and I've been using the same pennies for like 15 years, but it felt like this was the year we needed to do something new, so I have quarters. I have my jar there to place them into. I'll move them after most of the individual rounds. Every once in a while I might scoop a few at a time. But the thing I changed this year, for those of you who have done this with me before, is usually the sun Bs or any of the lunar or traditional namaskars that technically have both sides. I'm going to count right as 1, 2 as left as 2, which, trust me, you'll be happy about that, because sun Bs just go on forever without them. 2 things. If you don't want to do Chaturanga, 2 suggestions. I know I have some friends that having any weight bearing in wrists and shoulders is not fantastic. So if that's the case, you can kind of come into this kneeling position and lean back. And that's what Shiva Ray would call Dandasana and Uttanasana. So it's nice and strong and steady for the belly. And then instead of doing up dog or cobra, you could let yourself come into a little bit of a camel. And then that way that's not weight bearing in the hands, except for when you go back to down dog. Really? You're gonna sit right there? Of course you are. The other option is just to come into high plank and just hold high plank. So meaning instead of coming down to a push-up, just stay high. But here's something I want all of us to be aware of. Because of this, we're gonna end up doing quite a few Chaturangas. It's not 144, but it's more than 108 because of the sun Bs. That staying very engaged through your belly and puffing up between your shoulders. So meaning instead of letting this happen and just kind of letting yourself sink into the ground, puff up between the shoulders, tuck your tailbone a little bit. Even if you feel like you're elevating your shoulders a bit much, it's going to feel more stable through your core and through your legs. Remember, your legs are very much a part of this, and your hamstrings will probably remind you of that tomorrow. So, and if you need to, knees down, and if you don't want to do the actual push-up, just stay in high plank, totally fine. We'll do a little bit to warm up right now, just to warm up our wrists and low back. I don't usually do a ton of extra stuff before this practice because the practice itself is the work, is the movement. And please know that you don't need my permission to rest anytime you want to rest. And if you decide you just want to lay on the ground and kind of be in the moment, that's what happens a lot when we do this in person together, because you just get the energy of the room. And unfortunately, we don't have our physical energy together, but it's there. It's our energy is, shared over the internet. I'm there, I'm sharing it with you. So, and Tanky is too. And that's why I wanted to have him down here. I had debated not letting him come down for this, but I think he needs a little extra energy about him, and maybe he'll do something ridiculous that will be very funny for you. So, so just take a moment, come on into a seat, and I'm going to use my lovely little meditation cushion my friend Megan gave me. But just come into a moment to sit and close your eyes. And as we start to welcome in 2021, what I'd like you to think about is maybe not necessarily what you need to let go of, although that can certainly be part of it. But what are you truly grateful for that happened in 2020? And I know there's probably, or potentially, there's more negative than positive to that right now. But I know for myself, even though Laughing Elephant closed, I got the opportunity to work at J.W. Graham and Traveling Gypsy and get to work in retail again, which I hadn't done in forever, and I forgot how much I loved. I got to teach with different groups of teachers at Yoga at the Point, excuse me, NBX, Thrive, things I hadn't been able to do before. I've gotten to reconnect with a lot of people that I hadn't talked to as much. I discovered I had high blood pressure, which probably is a good thing because that might have come back to haunt me in a really horrible way later. Even though Tank has had a heck of a year with his illnesses, I was able to be home with him to help take care of him. So again, enough about me, but that's what I mean. To think of, there is absolutely some things that happened that were probably more positive. I mean, one of the things, I think my husband and I are closer than we've ever been, if nothing else, because he only gets to talk to me. But so as we start to come into movement, take a moment to interlace your hands. This is a little trick my friend Elizabeth does. And just kind of roll out your wrists. Where are you going, buddy? Oh boy. Anybody watching this on YouTube later just got an extreme close up. And then roll your wrist the other direction. And then this is going to sound silly. It's not a traditional yoga thing I normally do, but I've noticed, I've seen several yogis doing it online, and also my brother does it too. Just take a few circles around of your arm. And it doesn't matter which arm, doesn't matter which direction, we're going to do both. And then letting yourself come around the other way. Again, if you didn't hear me say it, I did include a playlist on the Facebook page. I don't have music on because I'll get muted if I do, so please feel free to enjoy music if that's your thing. So after a few circles going either direction on one side, just start to switch up and over to the other arm, giving yourself some time to roll it out. Can I tell you how nervous I am? I'm not nervous about teaching. I'm nervous about physically being able to do this. So no, if I have to pause, if you have to pause, we can pause together. I'll still talk to you. Don't worry, those of you who can do it, I'll keep telling you what to do. My intention is to do a lot of the cueing, but once we get into some of the groove of it, I won't cue as much, so you can kind of get in your own space, and then I'll maybe tell you a story or two. We'll find some stuff to talk about. So then here, give yourself a couple rounds back and forth, almost like you're doing like a cat and cow type of shape. And then next time your arms come forward, either pause with your hands on your legs or just press your arms forward, just rounding your upper back. And then let yourself open up the chest, letting yourself broaden. Where are you going to sit? I know, I see your happy tail. And then here, let yourself start to shift forward, just coming towards the shape of hands and knees. And then come into a few rounds of deliberate cat and cow, letting yourself kind of round the spine to the sky, hollow out your belly, and then drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the tail. If you can't read my shirt because I'm facing you, I know the Facebook Live kind of flips everything. It's Capricorn. If you know me, you probably figured that one out a long time ago, because I without a doubt fulfill the characteristics of a Capricorn. But letting yourself pull through. Today's the first day of my birthday countdown. Inhale, coil up. This time pause with your spine rounded, hollow out your belly. And then let yourself sink the belly, lift the heart, lift the tail. 1, 2, 3, down, bud. Relax, I know. And then coming back into a neutral spine, press down into your right hand. Just take your left arm up to the sky. Left arm comes underneath the right, letting the head and shoulder come down towards the mat. Giving yourself a moment just to pause and sink in. So if you're wondering how long this will take, it'll be a little bit over an hour. Because there's not a lot of extra fluff, sometimes we just get it done. And when I teach it with a group of teachers, which I love doing, there's a little transition time and such. So you only have me today, so it shouldn't take us too long. Press down into the right hand, take the left arm back up to the sky. Then bring your left hand on down, take the right arm up to the sky. The biggest thing to kind of keep in your mind when you're doing this is right arm underneath the left is not so much about quantity, it's the quality. So keeping the engagement in your body. I'll remind you, I'll talk about the cueing of, your belly, your arms, your shoulders. Doink. Release your right arm up to the sky. You're tuning in late. Tank has recently gone blind, so he's just pacing and figuring out the world right now. Hey, come lay down. Come lay down with me. Again, but feel free to modify, to take pauses, to take a moment just to chill. So then from here, let's take a moment, go on into downward facing dog and just lift your hips. If you'd rather be in a forward fold, that would work too. Really my main goal is that you get a chance to lengthen out your hamstrings. I'm facing you in the practice today because unlike other practices, we don't face the side, we don't face other directions, we face forward. So I'm just going to stay facing you. I will be cueing mirror image, so in case you can tell, don't worry so much if you're on the right or left, just know that you're switching every once in a while. And then just start to let your feet come on up towards your hands. Come on into a forward fold. Hey, sit down, sit down. And just take a moment in the forward fold, just let your hamstrings get nice and long. Just letting yourself hang in, maybe your hands are draping down towards the ground, maybe you're actually holding on to your legs or your ankles. Try to relax your head. My head's elevated just so you can hear me. And then just nice and easy, start to let yourself either roll the spine or long spine. Just grow all the way up tall. I knew you was gonna lay right there. Oh, tinky. And then let your hands come on into your heart. And then as we start this path together, you know, what do you want to remind yourself that you're grateful for that happened in 2020? And certainly, what are you letting go of? I know I need to let go of some things myself and more behaviors of my own and kind of taking better care of myself mentally and physically. So, you know, whatever energy you need to put out there, feel free to do so here. And then let's start the practice with an Om. So just take a big inhale. Exhale, just sigh. And then if you care to join me, take a big inhale. And so it begins. Bring your feet so they step a little closer together at the top of the mat. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the earth. Inhale, take a halfway lift. On the exhale, step back to high plank. And again, feel free, anyone who wants to stay still or do the lean backs or lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, or perhaps it's Cobra. And then come all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Pausing here for about 3 to 5 breaths. And you can always go at your own pace if you decide you want to go faster or slower. Give it another breath here. And then just start to step, float, hop your feet up towards your hands. Inhale is a halfway lift. And then exhale, and bow. All the way up to standing. And sorry for those of you who have done this with me for 12, 13 years. We just now have 107 to go. Inhale, sweep up to the sky. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Chaturanga, your variation. Inhale, upward facing or Cobra, and then up and back, downward facing. I do usually caution people from jumping too much in this particular practice, and only because, not right now, but later on, you start to get tired, start to step or walk your feet towards your hands. Hopping forward isn't as big of a deal. Hopping back is where there might be tendency for injury. So just be good to yourself, that's all. Nice strong belly, nice strong legs. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale and bow, Uttanasana. So I'm just saying it in Sanskrit. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Any variation. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then exhale, Adha Mukha Svanasana. Pausing here for about 3 breaths. Keep spinning the inner thighs towards the back of the mat, grounding your feet into the earth. Give it a nice big inhale. On the exhale, step, hop, or float your feet to the hands. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands into the heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Lay down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, stepping or floating. Inhale, heart rises high. And then exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Keep pressing back through your heels, grounding through your hands. Take another breath where you are. Step, hop, or float, feet to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Did I mention you can't hear either? And then exhale your hands into your heart. Inhale, reach up, maybe you arch back. Exhale and bow. What are you grateful for? Take a halfway lift and then exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift your butt, try not to fart. Don't worry, I'm gonna crack jokes because this is gonna be a really long time if I don't. Give it another breath where you are, heart toward your thighs. And then soften your knees, step, hop, float, halfway lift. Look at all these corners I'm moving. And then exhale and bow. All the way up to standing, hands into the heart. It's not the same without Susie in the back row yelling at me to make sure I didn't forget the quarters. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, high to low. Nice strong legs, nice strong belly. Chest open, heart up. And then exhale, down dog, hips high. Breathing here for about 3, 2, you can always pause longer, take down dog, child's pose if you'd rather, and then step or float, halfway lift, exhale and back. All the way up to stand, sweep the arms to the sky, take any opportunity you need to stretch your wrists, and then exhale, hands back into the heart. Inhale, sweep up to the sky, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, high to low, or perhaps it's right to low, or maybe you hold in high plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing, and then exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing, lay down. Giving yourself a moment to pause. Hey, lay down. Oh, there you go. There you go, there you go, there you go. There you go. All right. Relaxing, and then look towards your hands, step, hop, float to your fingertips, and then exhale and bow. All the way up to stand, maybe give a little shake, and then hands into the heart. Look, we only have 5 more to go. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, step, float, hop. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, down dog. Pausing for 3, 2, on 1, you can step, hop, or float. Jumping forward is usually okay. I just be careful on the way back and let yourself fold in. All the way up to stand, hands to the heart. Nothing changes, I'm just counting in Sanskrit. Sorry for any traditional Ashtangis if my pronunciation is off. But ekam, dve, trini, chatvari, pancha, shat. Didn't say shit, shat. Letting yourself press back. 1 more breath here. Soften the knees, gazing forward. Halfway lift is Sapta. Exhale and bow Ashta. Inhale up, whoop, missed up to standing Nava. And then hands into the heart. So there's 10 movements in Sun A for those curious. Inhale, Ekam. Exhale, Dve. Inhale, Trini. Exhale, Chatvari. Pancha, and then Shat. Pause here for a few breaths. Normally I would keep you here longer, but I feel like with the 108 you want to kind of keep it moving. Soften the knees, gazing forward. Sapta, 7, that's the halfway lift. Ashtau is 8. Inhale, Nava, and then hands into the heart. There's a 10, but I don't want to make it more confusing. So inhale, Ekam, 1 more time. Dve, Trini, Chatvari, Pancha, Shat. Pausing for a few breaths, letting yourself hang out your head. Again, I have my hands on blocks to protect my thumb. Again, you can always hold your plank, soften your knees, gazing forward. Sapta is the halfway lift. Ashtau bow, Nava, and then hands to the heart. 1 more Sun A, then we get to do Sun B. So exciting. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. What are you grateful for? Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep reaching your heels back. Let your head hang in, a little shake out whenever you need it. And then soften the knees, gazing forward. Step or lightly hop. Halfway lift. And then exhale and bow. All the way up to stand, and then hands into the heart. So that was already 12. Let's see. Now we're going to go into Sun B. Now, right's going to be 1, left is going to be 2. Normally I don't do that, but I just feel like it would be a nicer experience for you. So bend the knees. Sweep the arms up to the sky, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take it to high plank. And again, Chaturanga, maybe you hold plank. I'll do that eventually, I know I will. Inhale, lift the heart. Up and back, down dog. Traditionally, you don't lift a leg first, but you're welcome to. Right leg, warrior one. It's just one breath up, and then one right back down again. That's more the traditional pacing, so feel free if you need a pause somewhere to take it. Downward facing dog. Letting yourself take another in-breath here. Soften the knees, gazing forward. You can step or lightly hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale with a halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale all the way up to stand. See, I already screwed myself up because I tried to change it. Hands come on into the heart. Don't worry, I've got it figured out. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky. This first two are going to be a little bit different. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low, because instead I just made it longer. Inhale, lift your heart. Don't worry, I'll fix it. All the way up and back, downward facing. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, reach up high. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Soften the knees, gazing forward. Step, hop, or float towards your hands. Take a halfway lift, and then bow. Bend the knees, coming in, Uttanasana chair pose. Don't worry, that counted at 2. And then hands come on into your heart, Samastitihi. Inhale, Uttanasana chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, sinking in. Inhale, heart rises. Exhale, down dog. Right leg steps forward, warrior one. Now here's where I made a change and it didn't work out the way I meant to do. Hands down, either step right to plank, Chaturanga, up dog, or you could always go right to down dog because we're going to do left leg now too. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to the mat. You can hold high plank. You can do whatever you need to make it okay. Upward facing, downward facing. Now step, hop, or float to your hands, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. All the way up. So I counted it as 2. And then hands come on into the heart. Inhale, Uttanasana. Exhale and back, forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank to Chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg steps through like you're kicking through the wall. Then let your hands come down to the mat. Strong and steady, lowering through. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lift your butt. Step your left foot through. What do you need to kick out of your way? Draw high. Exhale, hands to the earth. Plank, Chaturanga, upward facing, and then downward facing. And then here, just pause for a second. This is where we can always meet up, so if you're going at a different pace, please don't sweat it. Give another breath. And then step, hop, or float, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. All the way to stand. And then exhale, hands come on into the heart. I'm starting to sweat, you starting to sweat? Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Anybody feeling fancy? If you want to add crows or something in, you'll regret it later, but you totally could. Lift your heart. And then hips to the sky. Right foot steps through. Embody the warrior. Feel the strength, feel the power. Feel what you've needed to use in your body to get through this year. Lower yourself through. Upward facing. Come on, buddy, come over here. Hips to the sky. Left foot steps forward. Inhale. Embodying the warrior. Exhale, hands down to the mat. High plank. Chaturanga. Upward. And then downward facing. Pause here for a moment. Maybe take your feet a little wider so you can let your chest sink down between your legs. Maybe you bend your knees more if your hamstrings are super tight. And then those of you feeling super fiery, you want to bend the knees, hop handstand, then to the front of the mat. Hey, you go for it. I'm not going to, but you could. Inhale, Uttanasana, chair pose. And then all the into the heart. So just 2 more for now. Bend the knees, sweep the arms high. Forward fold, sink in. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. If you are jumping, land and low. Inhale, upward facing, chest open, and then exhale, hips to the sky. Right foot steps through. Whoop, didn't make it all the way up there. Ground it down. You can always use your hand to help. Draw it up. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Lower slow. Upward facing or cobra. Are you coming, Tinky? Come on over. Down dog. Left foot steps through. Hi, Baba. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. High plank. Baby Chaturanga. And then inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lay down, relax. Relax, relax. 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 Okay? I know. Give another breath where you are. Step, hop, float, squiggle past your puggle, whatever you need to do. Halfway lift. Exhale and bow. There you go. Bend the knees. Chair pose. There's that weird thing I do with my hands that I didn't think I taught to Lori, but apparently I did. And then hands come on into the heart. 1 more cycle, left and right. Ah, oh, he's laying down. Okay. Chair. Fold. Halfway lift. Push up. High plank. Chaturanga. I'm going to pause here for a second. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Take the right foot forward. Warrior 1. Ground the left heel. Arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back. High plank. Oh, he moved. Chaturanga. Upward facing. And then no scratching. Downward facing. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the hands, to the mat. Step back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Did I say I'm supposed to jump in the ocean today at 3:30 with my friend Jess Ackerman leading the way? I'm a little bit afraid. Soften the knees. Step or float. I recruited my friend Natasha, so I'm kind of stuck. Halfway fold. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms high. And then hands back into the heart. Now this next cycle, excuse me, we just do half suns. So it's a little less no hands. There's nothing you have to worry about with the hands, but it can get your hamstrings going. So don't let the fact that it seems simple fool you. Bend your knees if you need to, okay? So we just do 12 in a row, because then it gets a little bit more challenging again. Oh, good, he's sleeping. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. All the way up to stand. Hands to the heart. That was 1. Wasn't that wonderful? Inhale, sweep up. Don't worry, I'm moving the coins in my head. Exhale and fold. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale all the way up. And then hands into the heart. Later on, we're going to chant when we do this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees if you need to. Halfway lift, heart forward. Exhale and bow. Inhale up. If you like it, arch back. And then exhale, hands into the heart. Inhale, what do you need to shift this year? And I don't mean resolutions, I don't mean losing weight, I don't mean doing any of these impossible goals that just stress us out. I mean things like, what can you do to make your life a place you want to be in, a happier place to be? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. I know mine is having less wine. Inhale, reach. I've made steps over the year, but it's still not perfect. I'm not trying to quit, but I definitely need to get it more under control. Inhale, sweep. Exhale to the heart. We're about halfway through already. Inhale, reach of the half suns, I mean. Inhale, fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and fold. All the way up to stand. And then hands into the heart. Not sure if Ariel's watching, but inhale. Ariel and I love to have our birthday celebration countdown together. Inhale, we're gonna try to have breakfast with John. So fold in. all the way up, because every time she took me there this summer, I didn't eat because I'd already eaten breakfast, and I felt bad. So 3 more, inhale. So is there something that you can rectify that maybe you did last year that you feel kind of bad about, and you just want to correct it? And even if it wasn't anything super crazy, I doubt John really cared that I didn't eat anything, but it bothered me. So inhale, sweep, exhale, and bow. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale and fold. And it was because we would go, because our class would get canceled at the point because it was raining or too freaking cold or something like that. One more time, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Watch those hammies. Halfway lift, exhale, bow. All the way up to stand, and then hands come on in towards the heart. So that was a row. Isn't that nice? So the one that's coming right now is called Classical Namaskar. And some of you are going to love it, some may not, but there is a chant that comes with it. So feel free to shake out your wrists if you want to grab a drink or anything like that. First one, you can watch me, and then I'll cue the rest of them, okay? So don't worry about the chant part. The movement is inhale, you'll be reaching. Exhale, you forward fold. I'm going to step the right foot back to the lunge, left foot back to down dog. Either stay still or plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And then the right foot steps forward, left foot steps forward, comes all the way up. And that'll be one. Now, the chant is Ram, Reem, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. I almost always screw it up. You say it twice. They're the solar bija mantras, and it just brings in some energy. I'm not sure if Tank will like it. We'll find out. You don't have to do it with me unless you want to. And yes, we do pick up the pace. So, but for now, inhale, arms high. It's Ram. I'll sing it second time. Reem is a fold. Room. Rhyme. Round. Raha. Ram. Reem. Right leg forward. Room. Rhyme. Round. Raha. So now the second set, we step back left. I'm going to say it again. I'll start singing it after this. Inhale, Ram. Exhale, Room. Rhyme. Round. Rhyme. Raha. I think I screwed it up already. Ram. Reem. Left leg. Room. Rhyme. Round. Raha. So now here, if you want, a little enthusiasm. Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. I screwed up the legs. Ram, Reem, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Don't worry, that was 4 quarters. Inhale, Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. A little faster. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Slowing down because I have to. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Ram, Reem, left leg, Room, Rhyme, Round, Raha. Last 2. Inhale, Ram, Reem, right leg, Room, Rhyme, Round. My knees are down, Raha. wrong, ream, room, rhyme, round, raha. Left leg this time, round, ream, room. Thank you. Right, round, really, round, round, ream, room, run, round, raha. Don't worry if you didn't like that one, it's the other time we do it. So now here, we are back to Sun A. So just your traditional Sun A 10 counts. Take a second, catch your breath, ground down. What energy is starting to shift? After this next round, you're halfway through. So here, maybe think about what energy do you want to cultivate going into 2021? Whatever it is, strength, health, happiness, forgiveness, ease, whatever it is. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Here's the option if you don't want to do Chaturanga. Lower the knees, Chaturanga if you want Chaturanga. Draw up, upward facing or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. See, that easy. Get you off the wrists. I'll do a few rounds like that if you want to do it with me. Take another breath. Soften the knees, step, hop or float. Halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale all the way to standing. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale and bow, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back to plank, Chaturanga, or take a lean. Draw the hands to the low back. Lift your heart, or up dog or cobra. And then eventually, down dog. So anyone who doesn't want to practice and they're just kind of looking around the room behind me, this is my yoga space, which I'm also grateful that I have because I've had it for 6 years, but I've never used it until this year, and it's definitely gotten its use. Look to your fingers, step or float, halfway lift, and then bow. All the way to stand. There's lots of traditional yoga things behind me, but if you look close, there's also a ballerina pig. There's a pink glitter elephant in a tutu, and then a Ganesha. Inhale, sweep up high, and not to rush, and letting yourself bow. Inhale, halfway lift, high to low push-up, or maybe lower down the knees, and lean back. Hands to low back, cobra, up dog, camel, and then hands to the earth, hips to the sky, down dog. Just let your head hang in, a little shake out, soften your jaw. This really doesn't feel quite the same without Jess and her sister Rachel up in the front row, because they were always right there. Ooh, hello ponytail. Fold in, come all the way to stand, and then exhale, hands to the heart. I'm gonna count again. So ekam, dve. Training for years, I thought that was the name of this pose. I didn't know it meant 3. Ground your hands, step back to high plank. Remember, Chaturanga or lean back. I'm gonna stay with the lean back myself. Then inhale, lift the heart, pancha. And then exhale, down dog, shut. Tanky, come over here, Baba. Let your hips lift, head drop in. You might even see there's a watercolor of Tank behind me. My friend Jess did that. There's a cool picture on the wall that Lori gave me, and then Lori's right underneath it. In step, hop, or float. Coral gave us the elephant. Halfway lift, and then bow. Friend Liza gave me the picture right in the middle. So it's cool, is most of my artwork wasn't purchased, they were gifted. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale. What are you trying to burn through? Inhale, what's making you feel stuck? Exhale. You'll notice there's one breath for each movement. Lean back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, and press it back. Lift your hips to the sky. A little unwinding of your head. Walk out your legs. And then gazing forward, step, hop, or float. Feet to the hands, and then bow. all the way to stand. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Here, what would you like to wish for? You could just wish for anything. Something simple, something complex. What is it? Put it out there. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low. Inhale, up dog, or maybe it's cobra. And then exhale, down dog, hips lift. Some of you might even want to come down to your forearms. Come on into dolphin. Yes, I slowed down a little bit. Don't worry, we'll pick it up again too. Soften the knees, step, hop, float, shimmy, shake, fold in, all the way up to stand, and then hands come on in towards your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Letting yourself press your hips back. Another breath. And then letting yourself step, hop, or float. Halfway lift. Exhale and bow. All the way to stand. And then exhale. Let your hands come to the heart. Who are the teachers you are grateful for? And I don't necessarily mean just your yoga teacher. Maybe experiences you've had, or maybe it's a college professor, or if it was something like for me, anorexia, bulimia, depression, anxiety. It's a big teacher for me. So letting yourself have a moment of gratitude for all of those teachers. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank, chaturanga, upward facing, and then exhale, downward facing. You know, and who are the physical teachers? You know, for me, Shiva Ray, Coral Brown, Sean Korn, Lori Mancini, Sharon McGuire, Deepa Cohn, Christina Mullaney, Jess Ackerman, Gina Habib. Soften your knees, letting yourself step or float. Jill Lynch, Action Hero, Steve Ferrara. Inhale all the way up, Liz Dufresne. Rachel, I don't know your last name. There's so many. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Ariel Arthur, Jessica Wiggins, Jessica Saltis. Inhale, reach, Lisa Ray, Nina Ritchie. Exhale, down dog, Trisha Kennedy. Letting yourself sink, press back. Lori, you know who you are, and I can't remember your last name. Raghunath, step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, inhale, reach. Anna Forrest, Christine Raffa, hands to your heart. Pam Sammartino, Jane Viscolosi, inhale, reach. Grace Delude. I know I'm not going to say someone's name I mean to, and I apologize, because truly, every path I've crossed, I love you all. I truly do. Chaturanga, inhale. Kendall Inman, press back, down dog. Kendall from All That Matters, press back. Sherry, soften your knees. Step or float, feet to the hands, halfway lift. And then exhale and bow. All the way up to stand. Hands to the heart. Tank has been a great teacher. So is my husband, so is my mom. Inhale, sweep, 2 more rounds. Exhale and bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing. Alex Cross, even though I wanted to get mad at her, but she really has a lot of important things to share. Soften your knees. When you're ready, step, hop, or float. All of the folks I worked with Shiva, exhale and bow. All the way up to stand. And then hands to heart. One more sane. So just throw something out there. Throw something out there you just want to put into the universe. Exhale and bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. All my aerial teachers, Amanda Cortalesso, Renee Kent, Sherry, soften your knees. Kate Sweet, let yourself have some space. And then stepping or floating. Renee's kids, Ian, They also taught me a lot too. And Carly, hold in all the way up to stand, and then hands back into the heart. We're making some progress. You only have 4 rows of quarters left. So this one's a half sun. So try not to let it get lazy. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, be cautious on your hamstrings, because again, it seems easy, but this is where the hamstrings could get really angry with you. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale and bow. Now we're going to chant in a moment. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. All the way up to stand. And that was 1. Hands to the heart. So the first part of the chant is Om. So just say Om. Gam. Ganapataye. Namaha. And then all the way up. Hands to the heart. It's the chant to Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. So it's Om. Gum. Like gum, G-U-M. Ganapataye. That's just Ganesh's name. Namaha, and that just gives it some oomph. Inhale up, and hands to the heart. You've already done 3. So if you'd like to join me, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Then inhale to catch your breath, and then hands to the heart. That was 4. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Hands to the heart. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. I don't trust myself to keep track, so I'm going to move some quarters. Okay, got it. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Inhale. There's 5 more. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. 3 more after this. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Take a moment, hands to the heart, and pause. So here, just in case if this will help you,